Namaste. It's Saturday, November the 16th at almost 8 a.m. It's time to do another bicycle live stream. It's a warm one this morning. I've ridden 37 kilometres. I can't even go. The temperature gauge says it's 42 degrees, but I think it's been in the sun. So it's not 42 degrees, but certainly a warm one this morning. And before I start this morning's live stream, I would just like to acknowledge all the difficult situation still occurring in Australia with the unprecedented fires, and acknowledge all the help that is being given by many different people and many different organisations, and also to implore you to help if you can with either financial donations or with other items or with your time or your talents. So Australia is at the moment experiencing great loss and hardship due to these unprecedented fires, and if you can do whatever you can to help, please help the people, the animals and the environment. So during the week I shared a meme that mentioned the silent witness technique, and it resonated with a lot of people, and because it did, I thought it would be good to do a live stream about it. So I've also titled it Peace, Liberation and Detachment, the Silent Witness Process. So what is the silent witness process and how can it help us? It is quite simply, and this is what I love about it, it's a simple process of observation. And this observation is going the opposite direction to the way that we normally go. We normally observe outwardly, and so people are quite well versed in observing everything and everyone around them, and gossiping about it and documenting it and writing news stories about it and so forth. So we have a tendency to look outwards and to observe what's happening in the world outside of ourselves. And there's a reason why we do that, and it does tie in with the silent witness technique. But what we need to do is turn that attention and that focus inwards and become what I would call an independent observer, or as it's termed, a silent witness. Let's just wait for this car to go past. And there is an incredible power in this process of becoming a silent witness, because what it does is it teaches us a lot about ourselves, and it teaches us one of the absolute fundamental spiritual understandings that is necessary in order to make any progress in spiritual understanding, which is that not only are we not our body, but we are also not our thoughts, we are also not our feelings. We are none of those things. We identify with them so strongly that we never detach from them, and because we never usually detach from them, they cause us great grief, because we think we are our thoughts, we think we are the desires of the mind, we think we are all the goals that we set and the things that we need to achieve, and we identify completely with them. And we think if the mind is telling us to do something, then that's what we have to do. The silent witness technique is a stepping back from our mind, our thoughts, and our body as well, and observing them as something that is not us. And it's crucial to understand this. We are not our physical body. And people can understand that, but the next point is when we get to this, we are not our mind and we are not our thoughts and feelings. People have difficulty with that one. They're like, really? It's like, yes, really. So the silent witness process is one of turning our observations inwards and looking at what our mind is telling us, looking at what our feelings are telling us, in the same way that we might pay attention to, say, an ache or a pain in our body, something that's a bit sore, or maybe our tummy's rumbling or something like that. In the same way that we'd observe that and pay attention to it, the silent witness becomes an observer of the things that are constantly going on in the mind, because the mind is always active, always full of thoughts. And we step away. We stop associating and identifying with those thoughts. We stop owning those thoughts. We start to bring back power and control by the understanding, the very simple but powerful understanding, that we are not those thoughts and those feelings. We are something much deeper than that. We are the spirit soul that is observing. We are the silent witness that is observing. And when we identify and understand that we are the silent witness, once we start to come back into that space, that reality, that is when we start to experience a degree of liberation from the thoughts that are always going on in our mind that can drive us crazy. We experience a peace of mind. We experience a depth of wisdom that we hadn't previously been able to hear. So how do we do this in a practical sense? Well, again, the process is very simple, and the process, like anything, like say learning to play a piano or something like that, the process is one of practice. It's like when you're taking up meditation, you're not going to be, after one lesson of meditation or yoga or sailboarding or playing the piano or anything, or learning how to drive a car, after one lesson you will not have mastered it. And so it will take however long it takes. And good morning, Matt. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great day too. It's a warm one this morning. So the process will take however long it takes until, actually the process is continuous. I shouldn't put a time limit or a achievement limit on it, because the process is continuous. And what we do is we put ourselves in a meditative condition or a meditative state by observing the breath, by tuning into the in and out of the breath, and then from the breath starting to observe what the body's doing, and from that starting to observe what our mind is doing, where the thoughts are going, and observing the feelings attached to them, and stepping away from them, just observing them, and saying, even in your own mind, saying, I am not this body, I am not this mind, I am not these thoughts, I am the silent witness observing this mind, observing these thoughts, observing the cramp I'm getting in my leg as I sit cross-legged doing meditation. I am the silent witness observing these things. This brings us back to a point of peace within ourselves, to a point of the greatest wisdom, and gives us an unseen advantage and power that puts us in a point of having having an unseen advantage over others. And it's not the reason why we do the silent witness technique, but it can lead to having a incredible ability to maintain calm in situations where other people are being stressed out because they're identifying with their thoughts. So, I'll give you an example. A very practical example would be the stress and the thoughts that would come with us if we were attacked by a wild animal. I've used this example before. And, we would go into fight or flight mode. We'd be in a fear state. There'd be a huge adrenaline rush. There would be a very quick response and reaction. Just like how you instantly jump when there's a loud noise or something. You know, you don't even think about it. It just happens. It's an automatic response. It is possible when you're a silent witness and you have done the technique for a long time, it is possible to remain calm in a situation. And it's funny because I won't say I'm perfect at it, but I've had quite a number of examples where I've been in a situation where there's been a loud noise, you know, bang, and I've seen everyone around me jump, and I've just stood there and gone, interesting. That's what happens, is you don't react. You just stay calm. You just stay focused. And that gives you an ability to respond rationally and wisely to the things happening in your world. So you don't respond with a lack of awareness or just an impulse response. You respond with a wisdom that is deeper than anything you've experienced before. This brings a peace into your daily activities, and this brings a detachment from being controlled by the insanity of the mind and all the worries and the fears that go along with it, because you just disassociate from them. And if you find yourself becoming agitated by the calling of the mind, then you know it's time to put time aside to go back to focusing on your breath and observing what the thoughts of the mind are doing. So it's important to remember, you are not your mind, you are the spirit soul within, observing the mind, the thoughts, and observing the body. These things are temporary. These thoughts and feelings, they are always changing. They are always active. And if we make the mistake of identifying with them, we will never be at peace. We will always be led in different directions, with no happy end result, because it's a temporary distraction at best, and at worst it's no fun at all, because you can end up in some very, very bad situations when we follow and believe what the mind is telling us. When I say bad situations, we can really end up in mentally disturbed conditions because we identified so strongly with something that is not us. And it's very sad when I see this happen, but it can happen. Matt says, I love your life lessons, hey bro. Thanks, Matt. So that's the point I wanted to make. If you want to bring peace and detachment and liberation into your life, take the time out to relax in a quiet space, to turn inwards, to focus on your breathing, and develop a routine of observing, becoming an inward observer, a silent witness. Observe your thoughts and feelings, and the more you do it, this becomes a habit, so that you'll actually see, before you become agitated, before you become angry, you will actually feel and observe the anger rising. You will observe the sadness coming up if you're going to be sad. You'll see it happening, and you'll learn that it is a component of the body that you travel in, but it is not actually you. You are much wiser and much deeper than that. So thank you for watching. I hope you've gained something from this. Remember to add meditation to your life, and also to live vegan